Shalom. We are preparing Parashah Vayetchanan, Deuteronomy. I think it's chapter 3 till chapter 7 or chapter 6, can't remember. Anyway, the first part of the Torah portion is about Moses pleading. The middle part of the Torah portion is about the Ten Commandments and how Yahweh spoke through Moses to the new generation as if he is speaking to the original first generation, and that's the language that Moses is using. So that just tells us that the covenant is outside of time, and the covenant applies to every single nation, every generation from that point forward, from that first Mount Sinai experience. And that reaches the pinnacle of what the intent is of that during the events associated with the feast of Shavuot. Now, we've done a lot of counting in the book of Numbers, and it's to try and find out when those events take place. Now, just to recap for those who are not across it, is that Shavuot is not a single event. Shavuot is a continual event with different milestones. The first milestone was before they enter into the area of the mountain. That was day 4950, and then they entered into the foot of the mountain. That's day 60, and then 63 Yahweh spoke, and then we went on to Moses going up for 40 days, and then at day 103 he came down with the tablets. He broke it, golden calf event, 3,000 died, and then he went back up after he spent some time in his tent speaking to Yahweh. Went back up again and get the renewed commandments. At that time frame, if you add all the days plus the days that he might have spent in the tent, that will bring us to the end of the 6th month, to the beginning of the 7th, which is in line with receiving the renewed commandments with Mashiach and his second coming. So Shavuot is still happening today as an underlining feast. It's always active, but it has these pinnacle events every year where we remember the milestones. And within the milestones, and I think I said it before, it's like the holes or the spiritual gateways open up when it sink in with the Moedim, and then sparks of holiness or glory or truth or the intent of what Yahweh wants, that light shine through upon us, and then we receive renewed revelation regarding those matters on a yearly basis. We also receive that on a weekly basis when we do the Sabbath, discussing the week's Torah portion. I've discussed that last week, the importance of being in sync with the Torah portions, the Sabbath, and then of course the higher level, the greater milestones, which are the Moedim, that we need to be in line with. So that's the reason why we actually celebrate it, is to be in sync with the light of glory shining down. Now, if you think the spiritual is out there and the physical is down here and we don't really connect, we're just a theoretical, we just read the book and we just assemble together and have a chat, it's not about that. There's a tangible spiritual realm that connects to the physical realm through Yahweh's people on these Moedim. And if you have the awareness, you're one step closer. If you have the awareness and you have expectation and a hunger and a thirst for the truth, that's the next step. And then the third step is when you actually allow Yahweh to fill you with that fullness of the revelation of what it's about. Now, this is not a new revelation, it's a deeper revelation of the same thing. Now, we've been digging deep with the Gematria, we've been digging deep with the Hebrew language in trying to get the deep understanding with the help of the Spirit to unearth these beautiful gems that will come to light, that just connect the dots, just fill in the gaps in between the black letters and give us that another layer of insight. And this layer you get a new layer next year, and you get the next layer next year. So it's a 3-dimensional puzzle that's been built. And we find all the puzzle pieces on a weekly basis. We stick them together. There might be a few holes, a few things, and we build it upon last year's puzzle pieces. And as you go through these cycles year after year after year, it sort of get height or elevation of truth as you build on these foundational things. And then you get a 3-dimensional holographic reality of the revelation that Yahweh wants you to see on all the multi-levels that it contains. And as I said before, Yahweh is supernaturally intelligent, and He reveals His truth to us in little pieces, little bits at a time, so we can understand it, digest it, bring it into, and that's what I discussed previous this week with chewing the cud. You need to bring it into your system. It's not just head knowledge. You need to go down to the soul and to the spirit. You need to bring it into the intellect, in the understanding, changing the mind, so you can think differently about the physical realm. You think differently about the spiritual realm, and you get a deep understanding of who Yahweh is. You actually get to know Him as you go through these processes. Now, it's always said, no, we need to know Yahweh. The only way is to do that through Jesus. Yes, that's one level. His level of what He done for us, sacrifice, the love of the Father, giving His only Son. Yes, that's one level. But there are multiple levels of Yahweh's character, His intent, His plan, where He's situated, why He created us, who we are, how we connect to everything, what our plan and purpose is within this bigger plan, and everything relating the spiritual dimensions and everything, how things work and the gear work, and why the Moedim, why these things, why these cycles. All of those things come together as you spend time in His Word on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on the cycles of the Moedim, and as well on yearly cycles, and then 50-year cycles, and so forth. So I'm excited about all those wonderful things, and I just want to pull it together. This is the foundation before I share a little gem from this parasha, and it's about the miracles. And I think this is in chapter 6, where Yahweh said, you will no longer need miracles. That's basically my own interpretation, because you will be blessed. You will have houses, cities, fountains, and land and trees and vineyards. So you don't need the manna, you don't need the pillar that protects you. You don't need those miracles anymore. Now, what are we focused on nowadays? If you look at the body of Messiah, there's a prophet in town. When he prays for you, get gold teeth and gold fillings and gold dust and all these miracles. And then people stream and they go and watch this prophet. I want some gold too. I want dust on my hands. That doesn't mean a thing. It doesn't mean anything. It can be done by any spiritual entity, not necessarily Yahweh's Spirit. Why do I say that? Because Yeshua's words, I think it's in Matthew 16 and in John chapter 4, He said it's the ones with the perverted hearts who are after miracles. And then John chapter 4 says, they will only believe when they see signs and wonders. So it's the unbelievers who are flocking to miracles, wanting miracles. And it's the believers, the true believers of Yahweh, who believe in His word without seeking miracles, because they are blessed. Now, blessing and miracle are two sides of the same coin. Yes, you need a miracle in a time of crisis, in a time of need. Yes, by all means, let water come from the rock, let the food fall from the heavens. But once you're in the land, you don't need that. You need to be blessed. And that's where the continual blessing comes in, where you live in blessing. That's an everlasting state that you will in. And it's activated and sustained by obedience in Yahweh's Torah. So I just want to leave you with those few thoughts. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will share the deeper insights regarding these matters, this teaching coming up this Sabbath. I hope you are blessed. Shalom.